Hello and welcome back to A Safe Space with Grace. Welcome to the podcast, and I am so glad you're here. I am so glad to be talking to you right now. Honestly, today has been crazy. I've had lots of work to do, lots of content to film, lots of content to edit, and it's Tuesday today and it's just felt like a Monday. I thought we'd sit with all the teddies today and just chat about life. Just chat about life and social media. I kind of touched on this like last week, talking about how social media, I'm sort of struggling with the whole content at the minute, and it feels like everybody's living an amazing life and has had an amazing start to 2024, 2025 even. And I feel like for me, don't get me wrong, it has been an incredible start. I'm so grateful for the start I've had, and it's all exciting things, but I just feel overwhelmed. And I mean, at the minute, to put everything in context, I am a uni student. I'm just going to get a bit comfier. I am a uni student. I do content, which is my main thing that I like to focus on. It probably should put more focus into uni. I just love doing social media, and so yeah, trying to balance social media and uni, but having more of an interest in sort of creating content. And then at the minute, there's 3 essays that I was meant to do over December, and I left them until now. So it's been a really stressful few weeks because at the minute, I mean, I've got 2 out of 3 done, which has been a win, seeing as though last week I had 0 out of 3 done. It's getting going, it's getting better, but it is just, I'm so bored of it. I'm so bored of writing essays, and I feel like I journaled about this the other day. I feel like uni is taking away my creativity. I really feel like that because I'm just like, every time I'm doing an essay or doing something and then I try and go back to editing or try and go back to creating a video, I have no creative spark to make that video because it's just, my brain's been so overwhelmed with information that there's no creativity there, which is annoying. So I'm excited to get these essays done. I'm excited to just tick them off, and I feel like as summer comes I will get a bit better. I think at the minute it's a bit difficult because I've not started back at uni yet, and my boyfriend has gone back to his uni, which he's actually in another country at the minute, which is hard because it's like long distance, obviously, for the next 3 months. So that's hard. And then I'm not seeing my friends because obviously we all live in different places, and everyone's going back to the uni. Like my best friend, she literally lives I don't know how many hours away because she's gone to uni somewhere. So it's hard because I'm not seeing, nobody's around me at the minute. We're all scattered across the UK or for my boyfriend in different countries. And I think just being on my own all day doing uni work and then it going dark early and not really having a plan of what to do in the day, it's a bit hard, and I've just found it really tough. And I just feel a bit lonely, if I'm being honest. I don't know. It's been a tough few days, and my health anxiety's gone up a bit, which, I don't know, strange few days, but I'm trying to just be kind to myself and not be angry when I'm struggling, not just letting myself know it's okay to not be okay, and I don't have to be 100% all the time. And yes, anxiety is hard. Yeah, it's really, really difficult at the minute because I feel like just every anxious voice in my brain is shouting, but we're trying to just accept that it's there and think, okay, you're there, you can't hurt me, let's just get on with my day, because in the past I've tried to investigate, why is that there, why is that there, what is the purpose of that, what is the reason? But in actual fact, it's just oh well, that's my brain's coping mechanism, it's fine. I'm trying to think of anything in the past week besides struggling with anxiety. It has been an exciting week because my mum got engaged, which I'm so happy for her, and my mum's partner, I'm so happy for them. It's means we've got a wedding. I've never been to a wedding in my adult life. Never. The last wedding I went to, I think I was 8, and I'm going from like not going to a wedding to now being the only bridesmaid and the maid of honour. I don't even know. I don't know I don't know what my roles are, but I am so excited. My mum just deserves all the happiness in the world, and I'm so glad she's found that. Like, it'll be so good. And I love a wedding. Like, so that is very exciting. It's gonna be such a good day. I'm really excited. Apart from that, it's really just been uni work, and like I say, yeah, but that's the most exciting part of the week. I want to start introducing just like different things in a week. So like recommendations. I know I used to do highs and lows, which I love doing, but to the point where, I don't know, I felt like I was just repeating myself. So for this week, we're going to do recommendations. And this week, I am recommending Akatar. We've started it. I've started it. You know what? It's taken me a while to get into it. Like, I am only on, let me look at what page I'm on. 70. And I've been reading it for about a week and a half. Now, usually, I'm not a quick reader, but I mean, to be fair, when I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, you've read quite a bit. I'm not a quick reader, but I'm also like, if I'm really interested in a book, I can get it like finished quite quick. That's took me a while, but it's getting good now. I've just finished like chapter 7, chapter 6, so if anybody who's read it knows what's happening at that point. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's good. So that is my recommendation, to start the Akatar series, because I'm loving it. This week I'm going to go more into focusing on the fact that like social media isn't real, and I've got my notes here. I'm loving this cozy setup. This is the aim that I'm going for this year, just realistic, cozy vibes, not feeling like it's a setup podcast booth, because I love that. I love episodes like that. I love podcasts like that, but I don't feel like I give off the professional podcaster vibe, you know? So we're keeping it real. And with all the teddies, that's my first teddy that I ever had, and I love it. Maybe one day I will do it. That's the one that I got for Christmas from my boyfriend. It's a polar bear, because I'm obsessed with polar bears. Today I'm going to be talking about the fact that social media is not real. The past few weeks, let me tell you, I have been comparing myself. I have been thinking like, why isn't my house that clean? Why am I not living like that? Why am I not going out with my friends that much? Why am I not living that lifestyle? Why am I not doing that many like, honestly, an area you can compare, I've compared it, and it's just not good for your brain. It's not good for your mental health. Because the thing is, I always think, if we didn't have social media, we would be so much happier in our own self. And my essay actually kind of can touch on this, because one of the essays that I've just finished is on social norms, and I've read so much research about social norms, why they form, what they are, and it's basically, we feel like we have to follow society's unspoken rules, even if they're good or bad, even if they're right or wrong, if it's the majority that goes with them, and that's what's sort of believed in society, our brain automatically thinks that that's the right thing, even if it's not. So early human years, we would stay within the tribe, that need to belong with people within the tribe, need to belong within the group, would be a survival mechanism, because we did that. And if we were like isolated out of the tribe, we'd risk not having the resources, not having food, not having protection from the rest of the group against certain threats. Like, it was very much a survival mechanism. And that's kind of like those evolutionary genes in our brain kind of stick, and that one is what kind of links into social norms that we have at the minute. And so even though it's not realistic on social media, so many people do it, and if so many people believe that's the right thing, our brains are automatically going to use that and be like, well, why am I not doing that? Even if we know that that's not real, but because it's being promoted on social media, and because that's getting acceptance from other people, and that's getting praise from other people, we automatically think that that's what we should be doing. But the reality is that's actually not real. That lifestyle that someone's promoting on their social media, the things that they're doing, it's being edited and put together, set a camera up, moved all the mess out of the room to film that bit where the room's tidy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's perfect. So these perfect lifestyles that are being promoted on social media just are not real. I mean, even this morning, I filmed an ad, and this is a prime example. I filmed an ad and did it in a tidy room. All of the mess from my room has been shoved into a corner that I'm gonna have to tidy tonight. But if you looked at that ad, you'd think, oh, she got a right tidy room. No, it's just shoved into a corner where you can't see it, because social media is not reality. It's not real. You don't see every part of every person's life through social media, because that just would not be possible. We'd have to be on like an Instagram live 24/7 to know every part of everyone's life. I think we need to realise that putting your authentic self out on social media is absolute key, and that's where it's... So like for me, one of my main goals is I really want my social media to be realistic. I want it to be authentic. I want people to have a safe space to go to where they're not going to feel like they're not good enough. Because I think that's a big thing that comes up for me, is I don't feel good enough on some pages when I look, which is sad, because we should feel good enough as we are, and as humans, like, just us existing is good enough, but it doesn't seem like that's the narrative that's pushed. And it's all just to push diet culture, push this hustle culture and wellness culture even. Like, everything that we see, which is unrealistic, is pushed to brainwash us to think that that's what we should be doing. And it all leads down to, in some instances, making money. If we don't feel like we're being productive enough, somebody will be selling a journal that says, here, this is how you can be more productive, because apparently we need to be productive 24/7. No. But that's feeding in from social media of making us feel like we should be productive all the time. Those products then benefit because we feel like we need to have those to be able to fit the standards that are set. When in reality, it's actually like, no, actually resting is essential. Like, having downtime is essential. But you don't see half as many products promoting downtime as you do productivity ones. And that's because the idea of productivity is just pushed through society. I always think, like, social media is like a shop front. You're creating a brand for yourself. You're creating a manufactured version of yourself on a page. Like, if you went on an Instagram and looked at somebody, if it was messy, that's like, although we think, yeah, that's fine to be messy, because it absolutely is, it's all about aesthetics. So when you look on a social media page that's trying to create that aesthetic, they're going to create a manufactured version of themselves to fit the standards where it looks aesthetic, looks perfect. We're always trying to aim for this perfect, set out life on social media, but the reality is life is not perfect. So why do we keep pushing this perfect life onto people? And I think as well, like, an annoying thing is you have the power to cut out through social media exactly what you don't want to share. Like, if there's a place where you don't want to talk about, like, if you're struggling with something, I'm just going to go on the productivity tangent. Let's say you're really productive in some areas, but it gets to 3 o'clock and you have a slump and you just cannot be productive at 3 o'clock. Fair enough. That is pretty normal. Well, if you're promoting that you're a productive person, you're that girl. I hate the idea of being that girl. I love the idea in my head of being the best version of myself, but that girl sets the standard that's just not realistic. And I hate that. That just feeds into the whole social media and not reality, and creating this version that's just not realistic to make you not feel good enough. If you're showing exactly what you want and having the power to cut out the parts, so like the 3 o'clock, you're showing that you're productive and you work all the time, you time block and you get up and do your yoga. Like, yeah, you might be showing that life of where you're getting up early, like time blocking, doing all your work. Are you really going to show, okay, I did so good, okay, I had a bit of a slump here, yeah, some people would share that, but also some people would not share that. They'd show up until the part where it's goes away from the standard that you want to give off, and that's just not right. Like, if you're going to show the good parts, also show the bad parts, because otherwise you're just setting a standard out on social media and you're showing people a life that's just not real. The reality is, like, life is messy. We're not perfect, and we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, because we're all doing this for the first time. Life is not perfect, and that is okay. That is absolutely okay, because everything that we're doing in life, we're figuring it out. We might make mistakes, but then those mistakes teach us what we need to act in ways for the future to not make them mistakes again. I think it's about, like, don't compare 99% of your life to 1% of somebody else's. Because 99% of the time, people are not showing the true reality of their lives. And I need to keep reminding myself this, that I shouldn't compare myself, because as a creator myself, I know how much editing goes into stuff. I know how much time to make it. Just like, you literally, when you're creating a video for social media, it might take me an hour to create this thing that I really like looking at and I'm proud of, because I'm never going to put content out that I'm not proud of. That's just never going to happen. And so I'm taking that much time to create something that I'm proud of. Surely that's not showing every side of it. And although I do try and show my authentic self, like, a lot of the time I try and show the good and the bad and try and show the reality so people don't compare, but it's hard to show both sides. And so I think it's about just knowing that don't compare yourself. You're good enough as you are. I'm so proud of you. You don't need to change yourself. Yeah, I think that's kind of come to the end of the topic. It's been another chatty one, and I feel like that's the vibe I'm going for. At the end of last year, I got really structured with my podcast and being like, I have to film this day and it posts this one and I have this structure. And I love that. I love having the structure. But just to ease myself into 2025 and ease us in, we're just having some chatty ones. And I love that. I hope you are having a lovely day. If you've got Sunday scaries today, when this will be going up, I'm having coffee and cake in the Peak District, and I'm so excited. I am so excited for the weekend. I'm really loving weekends at the minute, but that can be the start of next week's episode. We'll chat about that. I hope you are okay. If you've got Sunday scaries, do not worry. Tomorrow is just another day, and I am so proud of you. I appreciate you. I am so glad you're here. Please remember to give 5-star review if you've loved this episode. Follow along. The more reviews we get, the more it's pushed to more people. So let's grow this community, and I hope you have a lovely rest of Sunday. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you next week for another episode. Bye.